You mentioned macaws as part of the process of the jungle waking up. I read that, when you first start in the jungle, that's kind of your job, is to studying those. And me as a fan of monogamy and birds, so
Yes.
macaws are beautiful, but they're also monogamous creatures. They scream at each other quite loudly. What are some interesting things about them? Among which, by the way, you write how important the ironwoods are to their well-being, to their life.
Yeah, I mean, when I went down there, that's, like I said, for young people, if you want to get out there, go do it. I agreed to stay at the station and do like 6 hours of macaw research every morning. So you'd wake up before dawn and go sit and just stare at the side of the river. And the macaws would show up. And like you said, they all scream and bicker at each other. That's just how they talk. It's very, very loud and very, very harsh. But they do love each other. They are always. You can actually hear when you walk through the forest. I know what the sound of macaws giving affection is. They make a certain kind of sound when they're just preening each other's feathers and taking care of each other and just nuzzling. And then there's a different call altogether when they're yelling at other macaws or saying, "Let's go." And you start to learn macaw language.
What have you learned about relationship and successful marriage from listening to macaws scream at each other in nuanced different ways that you're talking about?
Well, I guess.
Never mind, you could skip that question.
It's interesting to see two animals sticking by each other's side, and they're both raising a chick. And at the bottom of the stairs at the station, there is a macaw nest in an ironwood. And the relationship that you mentioned is that in the jungle, there's a limited amount of macaw real estate. And those are all ancient ironwood trees, at least 500 years or more. So they have to be, thick. Thus, again, car thickness or bigger. And when a branch falls off, it creates a hollow, and the macaws use that to reproduce. And because there's only so many nest sites in the forest, only about 17% to 20% of the macaw population reproduces in a given year. So they have a slow replacement rate. And macaws are one of the things that people come to the jungle to see. And so along with gold mining and logging and all these extractive things, in our region, ecotourism has been great. It's given the local people jobs as guides and cooks and chefs and carpenters. And so macaws are a huge part of that because it's one of the last places where you can see these flying rainbows over the canopy, or when you're on a branch from one of these trees and the macaws fly under you. And again, that they'll fly by, you just hear the wind in their feathers, and they'll look at you over their shoulder. What? And just keep going. Just loud, and they'll just keep going, and then they'll join up with other macaws and they fly across the horizon. And it gives you this sense like you're seeing something from the dinosaur times. It just looks like wild jungle, and there's nothing human in sight, and there's just this savage canopy to the horizon, and just these beautiful birds flying over. They're just magical.